Okay, it is 7 o'clock on Tuesday, July 14th. And we'll call this meeting to order of the regular council for the township of Nipigon. So we will start off with our land acknowledgement. In the spirit of reconciliation, the corporation of the township of Nipigon respectfully acknowledges it is located on the traditional lands of the Red Rock Indian Band, signatory to the Robinson Superior Treaty of 1850. And the township further respectfully acknowledges the historic presence of other signatories on these lands. Are there any addendum to the agenda?
No.
Disclosures of pecuniary interest this evening? No. Seeing none, we'll move on. So item number 3 is the approval of previous council minutes from July 7th, 2026. So that was kind of our makeup council meeting. Anyone have any issues or anything with the minutes? Seeing none, we will get to the resolution to approve those minutes. Who would like to move this resolution? Councillor Hart. And second, Councillor Westhaver. Resolution 2026-153, moved by Councillor Hart, second by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council approves the regular meeting minutes of July 7th, 2026 as presented. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, next on the agenda, under council business. So this is item 4A, the CAO administration report 2026-07-1401, amendments, fees and charges, bylaw number 1988. So it's a bylaw to establish fees and charges for services provided by the corporation of the township of Nipigon. And CAO, is there anything you'd like to say about this item?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. First, before presenting the report, just to note that in the agenda posted online, there is an error in the background information. The existing marina storage fees are $500, not $225 as reported in the report. So the proposed amendment reduces the fee to $250. Both the bylaw and the recommendations are correct. It's just the background info that was misreported. The bylaw in front of you for your consideration contains a few small amendments to the existing user fees and charges bylaw, reflecting past council direction. The first is the marina storage fees being decreased from $500 to $250 per season. We will be implementing and charging these fees. They are separate from slip fees. The second is establishing fees for our new mini putt course. So there's a fee schedule there. And also a fee schedule and rental conditions for the township's portable community stage. Finally, there's a new clause that authorizes council by resolution to waive fees established under the bylaw where council determines that doing so is in the public interest.
Anyone have any questions or comments about this bylaw? I just have a comment. I like seeing the rental fee for the stage because it does give the folks that that utilize it, like the Fall Fishing Festival and the Blueberry Boss Festival, an understanding of value of what it is when we donate the use of that. All of the work that goes into it and everything, the value of what that is. So it's quite a substantial donation that we give when we allow usage of that for those types of situations. So that's on comments, I guess. Okay, so we do have a resolution to accept the report, but is that's the resolution to accept the report? And is that the only? So snow removal is next. Okay, so we have this resolution to receive the report respecting the township fees and charges bylaw information and to approved bylaw. So who would like to move this resolution? Councilor Cartwright, who would like to second? Councilor Hart. Resolution 2026-154, moved by Councilor Cartwright, seconded by Councilor Hart. Be it resolved that this council receives CEO administration report number 2026-07-14-01, respecting amendments to the township fees and charges by law for information, and that council gives first, second, and third readings to bylaw number 2038, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 1988, being a bylaw to establish fees and charges for services provided by the corporation of the township of Nipissing. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, so the next part, or the next report number 2, is on the seniors snow removal subsidy pilot program. So is there anything you'd like to share on that?
Yeah.
Let's turn it off.
Yeah, I turned it off. I'll just shout. Sorry, it was sounding okay when we tested it, but now it's got lots of feedback here, so. So go ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. Just a brief introduction to the report. So this is the program evaluation of our senior snow removal subsidy pilot. As council was informed, we received 4 qualified applicants for the program, which was less than we had budgeted for and anticipated. The evaluation in front of you sort of lays out the administration of the program. We ran intake for about a month. We extended it for an additional 2 weeks to try to encourage more applicants. We advertised the program through our usual online portals, the website, the Facebook page. We did physical postings at the library, Zeckner's, post office, Silver Club. In the original design of the program, the program was to be administered in 2 installments. The first upon successful application, and the second at the end of the snow season, where they would provide additional information and fill out a survey. With only 4 recipients, I elected to just call them instead. So we issued the checks in March, and I called them and just sort of had a conversation with the recipients. I was able to reach 3 of 4. We had a questionnaire to guide us, which is appended to the report. I think the important feedback is all the participants agreed the program reduced the financial burden for them of snow removal costs. They were all on fixed income. 2 of the 3 respondents indicated that the $300 subsidy $250 subsidy covered approximately 83% of their annual expense. They paid $300 for the winter. All of the participants did express concerns about securing private contractors. They all managed to successfully, but you were worried about the upcoming snow season. And so we're asking if anything the township could do or what we could do to try to support and encourage private contractors to be available for that service. And asking the participants about how they learned about the program. One learned about the program through the newspaper's excellent coverage, and 2 others were informed by word of mouth. For discussion, participation in the program was lower than anticipated, but recipients did indicate that the program met its objective of assisting eligible seniors with the cost of snow removal, especially during such a heavy snow season. And sort of identifying and trying to explain the low participation rate, it's likely influenced by several factors, including the program's late launch. We launched it in January, a fairly limited advertising period, and some of the difficulties seniors experience in finding snow removal contractors. So it's hard to say exactly, what limited the program's participation. In terms of options for council to consider going forward, I think there are 3. The first is to continue the program with some minor changes to administration. The first would be to move the intake window to late October, early November. That's helpful for advertising the program, having the program in place before the snow begins. It also lets eligible seniors that qualify know that they are in fact going to be recipients, that they're approved, and so they can budget accordingly for snow removal services. We can also continue to enhance our advertising program, consider a separate newspaper advertisement, and add a poster at the post office, which I've discovered is another way to inform seniors of some of our service delivery, and possibly a notice through the Voyant alert system. We continue to work with seniors in our community and getting them enrolled in the Voyant alert. Option 2, one concern that staff had about the program was using the Stats Canada low income measure, and your most recent notice of assessment from income tax might be for some a more significant administrative hurdle to overcome. You have to find the paper, you have to bring it in. In discussions with the 3 of the 4 recipients, it wasn't an issue for them. It doesn't mean it wasn't an issue for others that didn't apply. So one thing council can consider is to expand the eligibility to include anyone that has proof they are a recipient of the guaranteed income supplement from the federal government, or the provincial equivalent, which is the guaranteed annual income system, or GAINS as it's known. This modestly broadens the acceptable forms of income verification while reducing the administrative burden for potential applicants. So it's a fairly modest expansion of who might qualify while easing the burden for those that do apply. And then option 3 is to discontinue the program. Staff recommends option 2. I think it allows the program to continue to meet its objective. It makes it a little easier to apply and a little easier for staff to administer the program internally. In terms of financial implications, the pilot used $1,000 of the $5,000 budget. The $5,000 budget remains in this year's operating budget. So continuing the program with modifications, still leaving in place the same cap on the number of participants with the first come, first serve basis. Has no additional budget implications.
I think Councillor Cartwright had a question. This might work.
Did we adopt sort of another option 2 with parts of option 1? Because I think option 2 expands that it makes it easier for people to apply.
Yeah.
Just their notice of assessment, and also still make it starting in late October, early November, and also increase the advertising for it.
Yes, through you, your worship. Although it's not detailed, option 2 in the title, it says continue with changes to administration and eligibility criteria. So the changes to administration that are shown in option 1 are carried through in option 2. So it does make those improvements in early intake, expanded advertising, targeted advertising through the newspaper, as many physical advertisements as we can get in places where seniors travel on a day-to-day basis. So.
And Councillor Westhaver, you had a question?
I would assume that there's when that goes out there, they'll know the parameters, I guess, of what hurdles they have to get over. I think Sulian just told me a while ago that there was a limit on the income of that person being in the house with, or maybe 2 people being in, I'm not sure how it works. Was it $20,000 or something?
Yeah, through you, your worship, the low income measure used by Statistics Canada gets produced every year, and it's a calculation based on sort of what they determine relative to cost of living, what low income measures are as applied to seniors. And for a single person living alone, the number is about 31,000, or it was for 2025. Once you have 2 people, it begins to change. So $31,000 was the low income measure cutoff, or about that. It's 31,463, I think, something close.
Okay, so that's what we're using to determine if the person's eligible.
We will use, if council elects option 2, we will continue to use that, but we'll also allow proof that you're a recipient of a guaranteed income supplement or a guaranteed annual income system. Yeah, in addition to, so additional ways to qualify. The sort of cutoff criteria for those programs is more complex, and I can't sort of pin it down to a number. It depends on a number of factors, what wealth the person might hold, additional forms of income, and so on. But it does expand the potential pool of eligible applicants.
Is there a possibility we could expand that to 35, just, that's pretty low.
In reviewing the different sort of eligibility criteria that are used in other municipalities that offer similar programs, these are the most commonly used eligibility criteria. HST rebate is used in some cases, but that expands the income threshold even higher. I think the criteria listed under option 2 are the ones that are most consistently used elsewhere. It is conceivable that we could have a different sort of income threshold or cutoff at a different number. But one reason to rely on the measures listed in option 2 is that, they're used for other programs that are meant to supplement incomes for seniors. And so we're kind of relying upon an existing well-calculated measure for what is low income, rather than council or staff having to kind of determine ourselves what is a low income threshold for a senior living in Nipigon. So in a way, it allows us to use, carefully crafted and calculated low income measures done by federal and provincial governments and our National Stats Bureau, and then apply them to this program instead of trying to calculate them ourselves.
But right now it's good, for 20 approvals, and we're only at 4.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too.
Sure. And that is something, considered in this report, is trying to, figure out why participation was as low as it was. How much of it is owed to the late start in January, how much of it was owed to the limited campaign period, and then how much of it was owed to the requirement of a notice of assessment and using the StatsCan measure. We only had one person apply to the program whose income was above the StatsCan measure, and it was above by a considerable margin. So it wasn't the case that we had people coming in that were close to it. And although we were only able to talk to 3 of the 4 recipients, and we weren't able to obviously contact those that might have considered applying but found themselves ineligible and so didn't. It didn't seem as if it was a significant deterrent or an administrative burden for them. They didn't express any concern with it. There wasn't any concerns about privacy. So I think in continuing the program for next year, if we leave the criteria more or less intact, expand them slightly by allowing the different forms of qualifying, but also add in the additional early intake period, the expanded advertising. If we still see fairly low enrollment and it's below kind of our target, then we can revise again and say, maybe we need to relax the criteria even further. Staff favors leaving the criteria in place, changing the administration of the program, and then seeing and evaluating after the fact if we were able to reach kind of our targets.
Yeah, I just thought anybody who's living and supporting a host on that money is already in trouble.
Anybody else have any questions for? I just have a couple of comments, so I would recommend starting even earlier,
Okay.
putting the word out, just cause we could get snow starting in the end of October. Snow is a bash, it's a bash right now, but maybe end of September even, or even mid-September, like you said, maybe they could start budgeting early and thinking about it early on, as opposed to like I said, it can start the end of October, even mid-October sometimes, so we can start here. And then the other thing is potentially doing a mail out to just the I believe just to the houses that are in Nipigon, it costs about $60 to do a mail out, so just the photocopy, but
Sure.
then do a mail out, and that might be a good idea, even if it's gonna go to some people that don't qualify, but they might.
So the information's out
today,
there.
or like,
Yeah.
the information would get out there, and it's pretty cheap, pretty good ROI for so.
Those are good.
Yeah, and that's, and I would support trying it again, moving forward with it again as is otherwise.
I mean, it's a good idea to target the seniors, for sure,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mail out and paper advertisement.
Sure.
Yeah.
And plus, the word might get out to them, even though they could be pretty good shut-ins, some people, where they don't get out much, but they have children, grandchildren, something. And if they get a copy of that, they'll bring it to grandma or mom,
Mhm.
right?
Or they will get them all themselves.
Yeah.
So it should be good.
Thank you.
So I don't know if that changes anything no, it doesn't in the resolution, okay. Okay, so who would like to move the resolution on this? Okay, Councilor Westhaver, who would like the second? Harper. Resolution 2026-155, moved by Councilor Westhaver, second by Councilor Harper. Be it resolved that this council receives CO administration report number 2026-07-1402 respecting the seniors snow removal subsidy pilot program evaluation for information, and that council approves the continuation of the senior snow removal subsidy program for the 2026-2027 winter season in accordance with option 2 as outlined in the report. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, the team was busy doing that. Okay, so we have, report 2026-07-1403, resignation for the township of, for the township library board member. So, yes, we have the resignation of Rosemary, Ray from the board. Yeah, we can't reject the resignation, so, but yeah, just, thank you for her service on the board, and it was, very valuable to have her, sorry to have her leave. 16 years she's been on the
Yeah.
board, wow.
How many?
16 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to say of being on the board?
To thank her for her service and
Yeah,
her dedication.
Okay,
that's a long time.
long time. Who would like to move this resolution? Councilor Hart, who would like to second? Councilor Harper. Resolution 2026-156, moved by Councilor Hart, seconded by Councilor Cartwright. Be resolved that this council acknowledges and accepts the resignation of Rosemary Ray from the Township Library Board effective immediately. And the council expresses its sincere appreciation to Rosemary Ray for her service and contributions to the Township Library Board. And further, that vacancy be left unfilled for the balance of the current term of council. All in favor? Opposed?
When does that end?
I think it ends at the end of the year, maybe December.
With the council term, so the new council, yeah.
See, it's gonna, no, until this
November.
beginning of November. But instead of putting someone in there and then having.
Yeah,
Yeah.
election.
Okay. Next we have, report from our economic development officer. Brianna, so Brianna was unable to attend tonight, but, the CAO was able to answer any questions we might have about this report, about her reports, because she has a couple here too. So this, first report here is in regards to the Green Spoke freestanding bike repair station and the placement of said station. So the options are Bridgeview Lookout Tower near the Superior Circle tour sign. Option 2 is Bridgeview Lookout Tower near the Washington gazebo. Or option 3, Tourism Information Center on the existing 3-board concrete. So everyone read this report, I would assume, so any discussion on
Okay.
that?
My first guess was to put it by the Washings. I was supposed to go up there and look today, but I never got there. so.
Yeah, at the Bridgeview, at the lookout. You know, somebody,
I kind of like the cheaper option of putting it by the tourist information center because the pad's already there and. I don't know, that's,
the cost effective.
yeah, the cost effective option is more appealing to me.
I agree with them.
My 2 cents is that this is an asset that's obviously good for tourists, but it's also good for locals. Because we have a lot of people that are using electric bikes around and bicycles in general. I do like a cost effective option, but I also feel like if it's out at the tourist information center, it probably won't be accessible to any locals, unless they're willing to ride their bicycles on the highway.
That's
Which I know a lot of people are not. And another thing is one of our mechanics in town had to remove his air pump that people were using for bicycles and things like that because it was getting smashed and everything. So he had to remove it, so we haven't had a place in town to do something like that, and there is bicycle pump on this
Station.
station. So although I like the cost effective, I wish there was already a pad with lookout, but I would kind of support it being at that lookout, just for the accessibility for locals.
That's something to add too.
Go ahead, Councillor Hart.
To me, a lot of. A lot of the bicyclists that would be coming in here. A lot of them stop at night to camp overnight and stuff like that. If it was at the Tourist Information Center, what you would probably end up doing is having a lot of them camping there. Whereas Bridgeview, if it had an appropriate sign as well, saying where the marina was and the inexpensive rates to temp down there, they would potentially come right into town and ask the stores and stuff as well. So to me, that a little multiple effects of having it at the Bridgeview that you wouldn't necessarily have at the Tourist Information Center. The ones already mentioned. So.
Do we know the approximate cost of what it would be for a pad to be put? There's two different sizes.
Yep.
And the smaller size,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yep, if I may, it does recommend sort of two very different sizes. The minimum requirement is 18 inches by 18 inches by presumably 6 to 8 inches deep. Yeah, which is just, a couple of bags of cement. The much larger pad, the 8 feet by 8 feet pad, is if there's no hard surface around, given that we have existing paved area up at the lookout tower, we could add a small pad adjacent to it that would hold the station. We wouldn't have to put in, that would be a couple of public works staff, building a small form in the ground, putting a pad in place, and then coming back in a week and installing it. So the direct costs would just be a couple bags of cement and some gravel, fairly small.
So we have the option of which site at the retreat.
Yeah. The one beside the gazebo or the one beside this sign?
I like the one beside the gazebo.
The washroom and the picnic area.
And
Yeah, there's a shade there too.
That's.
And just the last couple of days.
No one destroys it.
Wow.
There's one left standing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of vandalism up there so far. What could they do with that now?
And then it looks like it's pretty level up there too, and just sort of a natural spot for another pad.
On that side, eh?
It's not really a pad, it's more of
Yeah.
But they,
a big patio.
So is everyone in agreement then with the lookout beside the shelter?
That was my second choice, but now it makes more sense, because at least there's a lot of bikers that come in here, that are tourists that are doing long trips by bike.
A lot of them stop in, it's like
Yeah.
this, I noticed,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they can stop.
locals can get up there without going on the highway, that's a good point.
Yeah. The pad would be the 8 by or 18 by or the 96 by 96 or that.
I think we'd probably do 2 feet by 2 feet, just to be a little bit bigger than the absolute minimum, but that's, sufficient for holding it.
Yeah, and it's not absolutely necessary to have the largest size, it's.
It would depend on how much, use you expected it to have. If you had a lot of use, then you might see value in having it an adjacent, very hard surface, but there's lots of hard surface up there. So I think just putting it adjacent to the existing hard surface accomplishes what the 8 foot by 8 foot pad is meant to do, which is giving somebody a hard surface where they can work on their bike.
Might be some consideration for snow,
Yeah, having it far enough away
Yeah.
to that.
so we don't snooker ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, but when we think following that.
Oops.
Okay, so, so in the resolution here, we're gonna select option 2.
2.
All right, who would like to move this?
No.
So Harper, who would like to second? Oh. She did the hand and the word, so she's gonna.
Considering it's
Council
a
West
bit
Haver.
wrong.
Yeah. Resolution 2026-157, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor West Haver. Be it resolved that the council receives economic development report number 2026-07-1404, respecting the Superior Country Bike repair station installation location for information. And that council selects options moving the installation of the freestanding bike repair station at the Bridge Lookout Tower near the
Yeah.
washroom. And further, that staff be directed to coordinate installation with Public Works and Superior Country. All in favor? Opposed?
My Dana was a lot of bikes down the hill.
Yeah.
Every year ago.
Okay, next we have the Public Works, superintendent's report. Which is there's Taylor there. So the report, because it's the quarterly report updating everything is quite lengthy. So, I'm not gonna ask Taylor to read the whole report as she would normally do. Because we've been here for a while, so, what I'll do is I'll just go through each topic and just see if anyone wants to, ask any questions or make any comments on each, if that's okay with everybody. Okay, so welcome, Taylor.
No,
Hey guys.
no, there you go.
Thank you for the report. So we're just gonna go through each area here and ask if there's any questions, so. So first we have her key statistics here, her performance measures. Been very busy, so this is Q2, guys, just so you know, so. It would be April, May, June, that is covered with these numbers. So really quick, seasonal employees hired 9, seasonal positions externally funded 8, drinking water regulatory audit inspections 2, emergency sewer blockages responded to 2, sewer and water locates completed 36, fire permits issued 144, cemetery interments completed 16, active building permits 34, building permit applications under review 5, new fleet vehicles and equipment added 2. Just wanted to read out those numbers, because those are pretty impressive, so. Human resources again, hiring of the students and seasonal staff, anyone have any questions or concerns about that one? Kind of relevant to your report here, but, due to the smoke in the air, that is probably gonna be continued for the next couple of weeks, is there some sort of health and safety, and especially thinking of the students who, students who are, doing physical labor and working, is there like gonna be some sort of a mask requirement for them or anything that's happening?
We could certainly get some masks for them. Something that we have been doing is trying to have them outdoors only for a limited amount of hours in the mornings before things heat up too much. Obviously, frequent water breaks and just breaks in general, and then trying to find them tasks to do indoors for the majority of their days. And with the dry weather we've been having, there actually isn't a whole lot of grass for them to be cutting. It's really not growing right now. So we're just, having them take care of little maintenance activities in various buildings throughout the municipality.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, water treatment and drinking water quality management. So there's, of course, the upcoming priorities to complete the internal drinking water audits, management review, etc. Any questions on that? So just, I just want to acknowledge that, the way that we do the water treatment is very cost effective and it's. Thanks a lot to our public works superintendent and our water staff. Going to Aqua is. A lot easier, but it's
Not cheap.
exponentially more expensive and it. Not having to have Aqua manage our water treatment is it just frees up a lot more money for us to be able to do other things, other infrastructure things, other recreational types of things, so. Thank you for continuing to do these reports and testing and all that, you and your water staff, because it helps us a lot in our budgeting and having the freedom to do other things, so.
Well, one thing, so
Yeah,
in that same light, how are we doing on hiring, another wastewater van
Oh.
or a water van?
I think that's a little bit further down.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
on-
Oh.
There's some further down, yeah,
Okay,
so we'll go to that when we
Right on,
get to
okay.
it. Yeah, but it is in there. Wastewater treatment, principal activities, here we go. So as mentioned earlier, operational issues, there were 2 sewer blockages requiring emergency response by Public Works, and they were resolved quickly. Upcoming, yeah, those RBC units, we haven't heard that in a little while, but they're still working on recommendations to rehabilitate them, I see. Okay, anything else with that? No. Carol? Stormwater management? Anything on that for Taylor? Marina? So we already talked about the boat storage fees. There was some damage to floating dock electrical infrastructure. And repairs. The launch of the canoe and the kayak rental program. Just a little bit of input there. I'm not sure how that's gonna roll out, but. Just a few words of caution, or I guess advice. Probably thinking about this already, but waivers will be very, very important, like airtight legal waivers or something like this. And also, I'm not sure if it's been considered to limit where they go with these on the river. Because if they're not experienced, they could get taken down the river. My suggestion would be to allow them to only go launch and then go into the lagoon. And stay in the lagoon and then back. That would be my suggestion, because if they're not given sort of any instruction or direction on how, and they don't know this river, they might think they can go down the river and get back.
For sure, yes, yeah.
And even
They go
going
right
across.
past Red Rock, they'll just keep going.
Yeah, the currents are pretty strong,
Spend the
so
night in Red Rock.
if it's possible to have some sort of, maybe that in waiver or something that they're only allowed, like the area that they're only allowed to go into, regardless of what they say they're experienced or not, because it's not
No,
like they have
yeah.
a badge that says how experienced they
I
are.
think this is where you can go and this is our program.
Yeah,
If you're really experienced, you probably
Yep.
own it.
and if there's a deposit program or anything like that, so that it doesn't keep going down the river and they take it away. They have someone waiting for them in Red Rock to take their new kayak away. Yeah, just I love that we have this, because we do get questions about renting vessels, but I just wanna be very cautious about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's good thinking.
Yeah, we can certainly revise the canoe and kayak rental waiver further and have you guys review it and also send it to legal as well and include uh, just some guidelines on where you can and can't go and what you can and can't do for sure.
I just wouldn't rush it to get it out. If it's not airtight and
Yep.
everything that we need to do.
Where are they stored?
Where are they stored is the question.
Currently they, I believe, are in the I don't know what you want to call them, the cubbies under the stairs at the NCC. Only because, yeah, we don't really have anywhere to store them right now at the marina, and the students would have to kind of drag them all in and out every day to keep them locked up. So they're still up at the NCC right now. and the intent is to have kind of a storage stand where we could lock them up located down by the launch dock, just so that it's easy and they don't have to drag the canoe, or sorry, the kayak from the kiosk all the way down to the far end.
Not to worry about that, but.
What was that? All right, next, number 6, landfill waste collection and recycling. We're pretty much aware of that section there. We see to approve the contract award. Roads, principal activities, of course, pothole repairs, etc. And I see we've assisted, given Red Rock assistance with our streets.
Yep.
Great, our intermunicipal.
Yep.
Great. Anyone have any thoughts on that? Counselor Lefevre?
I was just wondering, at the landfill site, is there a place for people that don't have, like, rural, like myself? We brought back, quite a few water bottles from, camp, and anyways, I know they're recyclable, but is there a place, I don't see a place at the landfill for residents to drop off recyclables? I know they're picked up all the town, but.
That's at the.
Recycling depot is still open. Down. Yep.
It's been there for like 10
Yeah.
years. But then you can use it, it's still open.
Yeah, because
Sorry, Taylor.
no, that's okay. Just commercial businesses obviously don't get recycled like materials picked up at their locations. So a lot of commercial businesses still use the recycling depot at the old curling club down on First Street.
And it's also.
So that's still open.
Okay.
Yep.
I used to have a friend who just brought it into and put it in their recyclables.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not the landfill site though, it's just in town. Yeah. Glad to hear you're recycling. Good job.
It was a pull.
Just a comment on the roads, so I was talking to someone, cause I never drive down that road, Mattis Road. I don't drive
Yep.
down that gravel road very much, just asking to see how the grading's been going and things like that.
Yep.
So, one suggestion that I got for, training of folks on the grader was that if it was possible for them to get like forestry, grading, like logging road type of training for like the forestry folks would get, because it, the person who suggested it thought it might be quite valuable for the type of roads, like the rural roads that are graded in Nipigon. So I just thought I'd pass that on. I don't know anything about that type of thing, so I'm just repeating.
Yeah, no, I can
But,
certainly look into that.
yeah, it might be helpful.
Yeah.
I can get Tim if I already haven't, I can get Tim the exact wording that the person used, because they were talking about moving gravel here and there and wings and all that, so.
Yes.
Out of my wheelhouse, so, yeah. I have a question. Oh, yeah, because you live on. Oh, yeah, but anyways. Go ahead.
It's about Fifth Street, and I see the signs are up and they're covered up in plastic. When is that supposed to commence, working on Fifth Street? Is that delayed because of the smoke or?
No, it isn't delayed because of the smoke. We actually just had a site meeting at the end of last week. But they are set to start in the coming weeks, and it should last about 6 to 10 weeks.
Your General Pleasant Hospital,
Yeah.
okay,
Fifth Street.
isn't that First Street?
There's signs on both of them, there's signs on Fifth and First.
Okay.
Yes, there are.
Okay,
And that's good sidewalks.
okay. So that's gonna last you. 6 weeks. Last many weeks.
Yeah.
So you'll put out some communication in advance about how that's
Yep.
gonna work. Where's that are gonna happen and when and all that when you have.
Yes. And as each kind of phase changes through the construction, yeah, we've been discussing with the contractor. They'll kind of notify me a week in advance. But each phase should take about a week. So each week we'll be updating, yeah, the public with the changes to the traffic control and things like that in the area.
Another question about the rural roads. The cutting back of the foliage next to the roads, on either side, on either side, it's been getting narrower and narrower with the, I don't know if that's whose responsibility that is, if that's a hydro problem or if that's a roads problem.
Is that on Mattis
I
Road?
can definitely look into that, Anne Marie.
Is it from going around the corners, you have to really be careful because you can't see with the overgrowth, it's become.
Yeah. I can definitely even reach out to Jeff and see kind of who's looked after that in the past and how we've maintained it and get some more information for sure.
I'm sorry, my mic was on, that's why you got that.
All right, is that it for roads? For move on. Okay, next is fleet. So we've obtained our new plow, new to us plow. And the new mower. And yeah. Anyone have any questions or? I hear that plow has a wing on it.
Yes, yes, it does. Very exciting.
Is that a bonus?
Yes, the staff are very happy.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, cemetery. It's good to see there's a pamphlet being developed to improve customer service, providing residents with clear information on cemetery services, fees and regulations. That's great.
And how's that getting distributed?
I would assume that's getting distributed by people coming in and asking for the information.
Yeah, so anybody you know, who's purchasing a lot or having an interment will, or just inquiring about the cemetery in general, just with the cemetery bylaw changes that are up and coming. We want to make sure that we also have, you know, a pamphlet so that when people are purchasing, they kind of have a summary of all the rules that are in the bylaw, because it is kind of a lengthy document, so making it a little bit more user friendly.
Number 10, Parks and Recreation. Questions on that? Gardens look really good.
Yeah.
Building and Development Services. Any questions on that part?
Good to see all the permits.
I have 2 questions for you, Taylor.
Yep.
The first, I know that we have our building inspector out of Thunder Bay. So how's that going? Like, been like available enough to come up?
Yeah.
Often enough to get these done in good time?
Yeah, I perform a lot of the inspections for Paul, but we also try to have him come down kind of quarterly or at least biannually. And that's kind of when we can do a good run through of all the permits and close a bunch of them. So, we're planning to meet again this summer to go through a lot of the active ones, get anything closed off and cleaned up. And, but yeah, everything else is going really well. So it's been very busy.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were so many. So probably lots of decks and garages. Are any of these active building permits related to housing, whether that's new builds or renovating?
Yep. We have 2 new builds currently issued. Actually one just closed a couple of months ago, and another significant renovation. And then we also have another new build under review right now.
So
But lots of garages.
Or involved in housing, okay. And then
Yep.
Garages are good because that's more revenue for our taxes, so that's good.
Mhm.
Okay, any other questions for Taylor on it? Okay, policy and continuous improvements. Building maintenance and corporate services. And then capital projects.
You might wanna talk on that one.
We're pretty much aware of all of these, so. So, if there's any other questions that anyone has, so. This section. Okay,
I hope the hospital, I heard about that standard sewer.
yeah, she just referred to that earlier, that I'm talking about. My camera table,
Okay.
construction signs were up, so that's gonna be the Candy project.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get memories question.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, good.
we're good, guys. Did you wanna add something?
Just in response to Greg's question earlier, so we did advertise for a water wastewater operator / operator. And we received a fair number of applications, but none at the time that sort of met what we were looking for. We did receive a couple of late applications, so we're going through that interview process, so exploring internal options. So I think by the time we meet again as a council, we'll have recommendations and direction there. So we're still working hard to sort of backfill.
You're looking at internal too then?
We're looking at sort of both kind of recruiting internal and then some external applicants that applied late but meet the qualifications. So we were initially discouraged from the applicant pool, but then subsequently surprised with some of the applications we did receive. And then also at exploring some internal options that are also appealing. So.
Sorry about that, Greg.
Yep.
Yep, no problem.
Skipped over that part of it, okay. Thank you for giving us that update. Okay, so we do have a resolution to receive Taylor's report. Who would like to move this? Councillor Westhaver, who would like to second? Councillor Cudwick. Resolution 2026-158 by Councillor Westhaver, seconded by Councillor Cartwright. Be resolved that this council receives Public Works Superintendent Quarterly Report number 2026-07-14-05 for information. All in favor? Opposed and carried. Okay, next we have our report from our Recreation and Culture Manager, Kristen, and she is also here as well. To answer any questions. Sorry, caught up with myself. What's happening? I went too far, sorry. Sorry, there we go. Okay, so we have here a summary of the departmental activities for recreation. Highlights. Does anyone have any questions for Kristen about her, about the activities highlights here?
Must be getting well used this year.
Yeah.
The pool.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we have a plan for getting the new boiler? Getting the new boiler?
Didn't I see some work coming up to look at the new boiler? Is that in the plans or?
It's in here, the operational.
Yep.
No, but replacing it? Is that in here? I thought I read something about it was being,
We hope to,
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that moving?
Yeah. She has it on my desk, so
Right on,
yeah,
okay. that's
we
good.
have 2 quotes. I'm just reviewing them with Taylor.
Right on, okay, as long as it's going.
Yeah,
forward
motion.
Instead of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But
It wasn't fully understood.
No, okay, I wasn't clear either.
That's okay.
But the intention will be to review the quotes. They're difficult to compare in some respects, so just getting fully comparable quotes. And then replacing one, basically as soon as we can to lessen the burden on the existing one. I'm not sure how many boilers we need at the NCC, but it seems like a lot, so.
Two for the pool, two just for the.
Yeah, two just for the pool and then two for the other hot water supply, so.
Good job on the Canada Post. Funding. So when you're buying recreation equipment, that goes a long way, to $4,000+ dollars, that's great. I do have a question, so I see that you applied for funding, to replace all of the dugouts, that's the word, which is good. So do you know, like, do you have any idea when you'll know, did they have like that to
The
the
deadline, I think that for that one was in May.
Okay,
That one, Brianna and I kind of did too, yeah. I'm hoping soon.
yeah,
That one's gonna apply first, the times in the past, well.
what was that one through?
This one is through, I think this one is through T-Baytel, it was through something else before though,
Okay,
yeah,
so this one's T-Baytel.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
good luck
Mine
with
was on the
that.
video for.
Yeah, it was a particularly strong application.
This one was, so fingers crossed.
That's the tornado that came and tore it out of the ground.
Mm.
I
So
love NASDOT was involved.
now if we don't get the funding, or if we do get the funding and don't have time to get it up before the fall fishing festival. Is there a plan to maybe like get like borrow, well, I was thinking maybe borrow some of the blueberry blast. Shelters or something to just put up for the weekend.
Benches will be built,
Yeah.
Lots of people bring their own shelter. So that really hasn't been discussed any further, but that's something that we can potentially look into.
Yeah, I think that may, I mean, it can be rainy and it can be swelteringly hot. And just as I mean, the baseball is a huge part of the fall fishing festival, so if there's any way to just have like a temporary. I don't think we, if the blueberry blast does or similar does have some kind of like temporary shelter or something to hold
Pop-up
shelters
fence.
over the benches, I think that would be probably appreciated by the organizers. Who are doing it. Is it this, you know, if it's the same, is it still Barry that's organizing
Very great system.
it'd be great if we could have the shelter, even if that we do get the funding, though, I don't know if it'll go up like that fast, right? Cause it's mid-July already.
Yeah.
So,
How big are those dugouts? Do you know that roughly?
Not offhand. I
I
haven't.
really get parked last minute if something.
there's nothing there.
There's no structure.
It was completely. The
The last one,
together.
the last one is actually just it'll be taken down either today or tomorrow. Yeah, cause then you can just push it over.
Oh, wow.
They're deemed safe. The other one blew over by the one windstorm last year, and the last one by the, behind the Curly Club story.
So both
It's
of them
just-
at the.
Those will both be, yeah,
Are going.
so the two left at the hydro, and then they're quite cool.
Those must be old, you know.
They are, yeah. Yeah, and we've maintained them slowly, right, piece by piece a little bit, but yeah, eventually they're gonna all. Yeah, each time.
Well, and you applied for funding, but haven't heard,
Not yet,
wonder when.
not sure.
Might have to come out of their old budget.
If we have,
Yeah.
that'll be next year, yeah, we have to, yeah. Okay. I'm really happy about the Kids in the Kitchen program, partnership with the District Family Health Team, that's great. Another use for the Edge Arts Center.
Just to kind of touch base on that too,
Yeah.
just to say, we're hoping it will go well, which has gone well in the past, and she's willing to continue. After that 1 week as well, so that's awesome.
Cause I'm sure I feel like you'll have kids on the waiting list for that. Everyone wants to and eat. Yeah, that's great. That's a good job on that. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I'd say, what's junior lifeguard day? What was that about?
That's just an event that we would like to try. One of our lifeguards incident happened at a different pool. So it's just the kids get to come in and kind of be a lifeguard for like to learn how to become a lifeguard for the day.
Future recruits.
Exactly,
Yeah.
with hopes, that's our hopes, right? So they'll learn some of the basic skills of what a lifeguard needs to know.
But you never know, they could see somebody in distress
Mhm.
when the midlife bird's looking that way and you're over there.
Mhm.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Is the mini golf under your,
It's kind of that, but
is that in Brianna's report? I can't remember. If I
It
wanted to
was,
say
yes.
something
Yeah.
about the mini plat, it would
Uh,
be for
but
Brianna's.
It could be here too. That's fine.
It is mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since Kristen's here, I just had a thought a few days ago about, because I know we have the very basic goals without any of the obstacles or anything like that. Just a thought that this might be a good potential partnership with the high school. Cause they have the welding class and I know they're always like welding things to bring home and show you. So when I welded, then what do I do with it? So I'm just wondering if maybe the welding teacher or something could have that as a project for them to like weld some cool Nibbian themed or nature themed or I don't know.
I think
Artistic
for the-
type
sure.
of obstacles
Obstacle, right.
for the mini putt.
Well, a mini putt's gotta have a windmill on it, doesn't
It had, yeah, absolutely, a windmill with a hole, yeah, they can have, there's no windmill significant, but
Yeah.
that could be
Yeah.
their first windmill.
The lighthouse, the big fish, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
it?
there's all
Yeah,
kinds
all the
of,
classics.
think about all the suggestions to see what they could do, but, they have the materials and they
Yeah.
bring them home
It's a
to what with,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so maybe they can. do
Sure.
that.
That might be a project where they can help
Project.
us out and.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just, I mean, there's 18 holes, but like, just slowly add to, does not
Yeah.
have to be done at once, but.
Who teaches that? The high school, know the person?
Mr. Kane?
yes, I was like, it's Mr. Kane.
Yeah.
It's a
There
popular,
was two different,
Yeah.
there's nothing, I could definitely reach out to him.
yeah,
Yeah.
They have a woodworking class too.
we're in a
Oh,
woodworking,
yeah.
I think. Yeah, yeah, the woodworking
Yeah.
class, I'm not sure, but the woodworking too, yeah, for outdoors, I think it's all weather approved and everything. One that brings me to another question, so do you remember a long time ago when we had at the tourist information center, the little replicas of the
Yeah.
buildings that, they're gone, okay,
They were destroyed.
cause I know they were brought.
They were getting pretty
Right.
full.
They were fixed a little bit and then, it just, the cost of it just wasn't worth it.
So
If
that's,
those were, that would have been.
That would have been
to go
cool.
through.
but it's a potential
Yes.
again of the woodworking class to do like maybe
Yes.
some replicas of buildings again.
Free labor.
And that's what I'll take this now. Okay,
Yeah, cause you have lots of pictures of old stuff, they reproduce them.
James already told me that the person to make a few things is Herman. Because Herman's always creating everything.
You gotta
I mean,
plant that bug.
we don't limit it to the students, if anyone wants to create something to donate as an obstacle, we have that, I think. Yeah, that would kind of be maybe like a civic.
Raynard's got that little windmill.
The windmill.
Oh, yeah.
So we
Let's
put
start
put a
seeing
poster
some
down.
people's comments. Just say that to next shot. They're like dressed in black. Flashlight, okay, sorry.
Just gotta go down to the church, Ron.
Stealing from the church now. Oh, you need rods, yeah, the new training.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone have any more questions or comments for Christmas?
You're getting tired.
I know, we got a lot to go through.
I know.
A lot of good stuff. Right, so if we have no more, questions, for Kristen, then I think we can probably, move forward with this resolution. Who would like to move, Kristen's report? Councilor Harper, who would like to sign it? Councilor Westhaver. Resolution 2026-159, moved by Councilor Harper, seconded by Councilor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council receives recreation culture quarterly report number 2026-07-14-06 for information. All in favor? Oh. Great. Thank you, Kristen. This is great. Thank you for providing that update, that report. Cool. Now I have to say it.
Did you have anything?
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen.
All right, next we have, another busy bee, Brianna. Report from Brianna. So this is on the market. I think this is her overall.
This is her quarterly report, yeah.
Quarterly report, okay, so Brianna is not here, but Kim can answer any questions. It's pretty detailed though, so there's some good statistics in here. And then the first item is about the market. Looks like there was the highest number in May, lowest number in June. But I think it's got quite a following, so. Just one thing I'd like to mention, I think that, to get information out, I know it's hard to keep up with it because it's monthly, but to get information out about the market to remind people so they can plan to go to buy their bagels or to buy their carrots or whatever it is. I think that might have been the difference in May because I think it looked like she had more time in April, so I think things were getting out earlier, but when she got busier in June, of course, with the vet clinic and everything.
Okay.
Just to try to get that stuff out a little bit earlier, and then updating, I know I passed by the museum board there, which is great, but it's still got the market for the June date.
Okay,
So just to remind maybe they're obviously helping to cross market events and just make sure that the museum's on top of getting updated information in that board. That's another good place to stuff. Anything on the market? Blueberry Blast, August 14th to 16th. Holy, that's a number.
I know some people do crazy.
School. Looks like there's a new big blueberry splash dunk tank.
Volunteers.
Yours truly has been approached a couple of weeks ago.
And you're gonna do it. Right?
Oh yeah, of course. God, I love a dunk tank. I don't know where they're getting. Any questions on the blueberry glass?
I hope we have blueberries.
Yeah.
Well,
It's looking good. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Some
water didn't seem like a lot, but there was a lot of them blueberry fields.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
there was lots of berries, so, but then we had weeks of dry. Awful.
On Sunday and then they're good. Yeah.
They don't require any. Like that's the thing.
Next is the clinic, and we had quite a substantial
Yeah.
report on the clinic, moving down, so. You could probably push through that to get to the stuff here. Innovative counseling services, so I hadn't heard.
I have a couple of questions on the clinic.
Oh, the vet, yeah, okay,
Okay, so we had 169 appointments. That was a great turnout, right? And I'd like to thank the volunteers that, stepped up for that. I noticed in the report, it said 169 appointments times $60. Is that what the charge was, or? I thought it was 100 and 120 is what comes council for.
it was $120 or $100 per
Local.
animal.
Yeah.
Local.
Yeah.
Or scriber.
Yeah.
And then 120 for the rest.
Yeah.
The 60, I'm not sure where you saw this.
Yeah, we can-
60,
Well,
we
that's
can
in
go
the
into
budget.
detail
it
when
gets
we get to
down
that report, but
Yeah.
for now I can say that $60 is the fee that goes to the vet.
To the
And
vet.
the-
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
And then the additional cost is for us to cover our
The whole
costs.
house.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good,
Yeah.
because I just thought maybe that got changed,
Yeah.
and if it did get changed, it should still reflect the local and other.
Yeah.
Separation.
Yeah, no, that was their cut, as it were.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense, yeah.
40 for us.
Yeah,
for
but-
locals and
but I-
60 for
Yeah,
us
but we can go through that
for-
report
Yeah,
next in
there's
detail.
there's
There's
this one's just like an
Quite a good
executive summary of that, and then there's a wholesome report at the separately, so. With all the numbers and everything. Innovative counseling services, so this is explored opportunities to improve local access to mental health and counseling services through virtual care. So I guess we'll find out more about that when. More meetings happen, or it's just in the early stages. Obviously something that's needed. The Kiwanis Club. Development, so it looks like the township is now a member of the Kiwanis Club, is that what it says?
Did we have one before?
Probably.
Did we have a Kiwanis before?
No.
No?
I don't think that the township is a member, but,
And the township became a member.
oh, okay,
But.
I stand corrected, okay.
I'm not sure if that's what the,
Where's our king's picture?
um.
Alright.
Upcoming priorities, so just basically that's in its early stages as well.
Yeah.
right? The Nipigon mini links, I like that, is that the official name of it?
Sure.
Nipigon Mini links,
Sure.
I like that.
It is now.
It is now, I like that a lot. Is there a ETA for it to be open to the public?
We're having a staff meeting concerning it tomorrow, but my intention is to have a grand opening this Friday.
Nice, I guess we have to approve this first.
Yeah, approve the fees. We need to get a couple last minute items in place, but I think we'll have a grand opening on Friday. I think if we don't, there might be a riot because
People are- it's like,
They're-
oh, it's there and nobody's-
the kids are clamoring to get in there, and so it was, put together, by Public Works and facility staff. We're just letting the greens kind of lay flat a little bit to try to get some of the wrinkles out, but nothing better than trampling little feet to iron out those bumps. So
And of course, patience is asked of the public in this. This is a new foray for us and it's something that's was kind of meant to be outside and we, just. It's a soft launch for locals to try it out and for us to sort of try out how it goes and how it flows and everything, but
yeah, and the intent will be to keep it inside the NCC up until Labor Day weekend,
Yeah.
and then we'll move it to the tennis court and have it outdoors for as long as weather permits in September.
because we already have a fenced in area there, so it's perfect. And we can close that 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's flat.
It's flat. Okay, website development. So looks like there's a few hitches in that.
I got some comments on that.
Yeah, go on.
It pains me to read that staff can manage independently. I heard that 25 years ago. And it still hasn't happened.
What's that? I'm sorry.
For the website, it's like we want staff to manage it independently where we can like change the dates from Labor Day to, when they change every year, maybe a new event coming up. I'm not sure if we can do that now, or have the ability to do it, or do we have to go back to the computer or the provider to do that? Because like I said, 25 years ago, we were supposed to get something that our staff could change, like on the dates and, if there's a new.
I mean, like update the website. in
Yeah,
general.
yeah.
They can, because I forget what they were saying, and ours is behind and. When I read that, I went, holy moly, because we need to put more resources towards that, because we've had a screwed up. Website for 25 years, since we've had a website, it's never been. So I don't know, next year or whatever, we need to put some money towards that and get it fixed up. So that we can independently change that kind of stuff. It's just been a frustrating thing for like a lot of years and it's, we've had complaints over the years too, I believe,
There's
bad information,
too much on the website to manage and it's just.
Yeah, but even when we switch dump from summer hours, like that's, I think that's on there. But, just to change like that, we need the avenues to update it or something.
Yeah.
Like I said, we need to fix this thing. It's been a long time doing it. Anyways, that's my comments.
I think we do have the technical staff now, we not necessarily had
Had
any
before.
before this.
Yeah.
But the technical staff to do it right now is so overwhelmed and
With
with
other
other projects.
Yeah.
Which are moving forward like gangbusters,
Right on. Okay, well, there's always the logistics of doing it, but
that's,
I think 25 years is
Oh, yeah.
quite a time to do
Yes.
it,
oh yeah.
Tim, do you wanna?
Sure, I would just add, this RFP was awarded, to the Talent Trellis to do the website development. The intent is to create a website that is much easier for us to sort of manage and
Right on.
populate. The current website is just, sort of collapsing under the weight of its own previous versions. We are having an issue with vendor performance.
I
They,
think that's been the problems in the past.
yeah, and-
That has.
Promises lots and then doesn't
yeah,
deliver.
so myself and EDO Bell have met with the owner of Talent Trellis, where I've expressed my concerns about that the contract is being frustrated and they have not met their requirements. They have promised that they will work, they'll dedicate more resources to it. So we have seen some progress, but it's not at the pace that we're promised. So we are meeting again, either later this week or early next week. I know I consider it's tempting to sort of consider the contract as not being fulfilled, that they're in violation of the contract. We're getting pretty close to that threshold. We do have provisional plans in place to salvage the project, excuse me, using another programmer that's at least more local to the area that sort of we know and their body of work that we know. But we're working to try and sort of recoup as much as we spent on the existing vendor, and by getting them to satisfy the contract as it's laid out. So we're stepping on them pretty heavily now, just to try to move forward.
It's been a problem for, like I said, a lot of years.
And we're extending the contract with our current website host and provider by a couple of months to allow us a little more time to get the new website up and running. So there are some signs of progress. It's nowhere near as far along as it should be. Staff is addressing it as best we can, and we are putting in place, provisional plans in the event that we consider the vendor incapable of moving forward.
That's awesome. Hopefully we end up with something decent and easy for staff and you to use.
Yeah, at least the current project to be pushed further along where we can bring somebody in on the back end to help kind of complete the project, populate it with our our data and our bylaws and everything else that we want to be on the website.
Some of the problem before was that they own the website or the stuff in the website. And we had to go, like we wanted to change Labor Day dates, you have to go to them and everything else, Blueberry Blast dates.
That's changed. Yeah.
That's changed. Okay, so that's good. Yes. That's awesome. Okay, thanks, Tim.
The other thing that I was bringing up before when this whole process was, there are locals that are capable of doing maintenance and stuff on this.
Yeah.
We do not have to hire someone from Thunder Bay at an extraordinary rate to do it. We need to start looking local for a lot of this, especially just updating. If we need somebody extra to update stuff, you don't need a lot of technical skills with these things. It's just a matter of our staff might be overbooked right now to do some of that stuff.
No, there's always,
yes. But I've always been against going to Thunder Bay for everything. So we
If we
have,
can do it,
there is local
that's
talent
better.
here,
Okay.
I can tell you that.
maybe you could give that some of that to Tim, since you even know the events.
I think we probably know.
Probably knows already, but
Yeah.
anyway.
At this point in time, I brought it up at the beginning.
Well, something that does make things a little easier is the standalone tourism site that exists now. So all of that stuff that used to be, or that's kind of still is on the site, still as it exists, no longer has to be on this.
We won't have as much work in there.
Can be, is just like a link. If you just click on, let's say on the new site, if you just click on visit, if you click on that, it just goes to that other website, which is
Leaves all the other stuff.
by it,
Yeah.
the other entity. So
So that would probably.
that will,
help.
yes. Complicate things a little bit less. So,
Somebody has to clean it out, the stuff that's irrelevant.
that's right. Yeah.
But that's
websites are
where you
fine.
could save money by looking at somebody
Local.
more local.
Yeah.
To do that, and them making a small wage as opposed to somebody in Thunder Bay making hundreds of dollars an hour.
Right.
Like it means a lot more to
Yeah.
them, I think, locally than somebody down.
Or on some kind of outrageous service contract.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have wayfinding strategy and digital assets. Questions on that one? No. And then we have grants and funding. Okay, so here's the T-Bay TEL fund, so that was put in May 20th. What is this date of change? Are all these changes, or is that just a title that's? Cause I think what I'm saying here is that there was a request to change NOHFC,
Right.
and then
Yeah, the others are just,
the others are just dates.
Yeah.
That's okay, like due dates or whatever, and then this one must have been the application deadline, it's May 20th. What do they get back to us soon? I feel like T-Baytown might take a couple months. That's the norm for the. These types of things,
Couple of months to get the money.
well, to be approved,
to be approved.
yeah, to be approved
Yeah,
first.
okay.
They just did their first round of funding, that was only last month, so. Built the community one that we did for the Edge Arts, that one just finished, so. And that was a few months,
T-Baytown for good.
yeah, that's something.
Tourism Information Center. Any questions on that one?
I drive by there a lot, and it looks like there's always the vehicles there, sometimes 10, 6. It used to be almost vacant unless someone was charging.
Do those Tesla chargers work?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you adapt it to,
If you have an adapter.
you have to have
I
it,
do know, I was talking to the mayor of Manitowoc, because he has a Tesla, and, he can go to other chargers and adapt them, he has
right,
adapters.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
hoping. is-
He does, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can go to like to the Tesla charger and not be a Tesla, I don't know if there's an adapter that works the other way, I'm not sure. But there are a lot of Teslas that are,
I always see the same one, same guy, same, I think it should be a month.
Nipigon Museum. Like to see all the stats there. I like to see the gift shop sales at over $1,000 for that quarter, which is, again, not really the peak quarter for us, so I'm looking forward to seeing the summer quarter. Go Bernadette, mom needs a new gift shop. Mom needs a new gift shop.
Must get ready some food first.
Ajarts update.
I got
Oh, you
one
have a
question.
question for the
Yeah,
museum? Okay, go
museum,
ahead.
see roof leaks and required backflow valve. I think I've seen that too many times now.
Yeah.
Like the roof leak needs to be addressed or fixed, well, I don't even know what the roof is, but. It's a flat roof that leaks probably,
Yeah,
and the backflow valve on. That's been ongoing for a
Yeah.
minute too, so. I like to see those ones taken care of, especially the roof leak there, you don't know. Where it's going, where it's ending up and.
Black mold, what I'm saying.
Yeah. So anyways, those two things should probably be sped up and accomplished, I would hope. That's it, I think. That's it.
Museum. Ajarts. Looks like we got some long-term rentals or regular rentals there, which is great for revenue. And I believe, like I said, the program that, the cooking program is running out of there, which is good. I think that. I've been saying this for a while now, that we gotta start getting more youth programs through there. That's actually what it was built for.
Yep.
But because the senior programming funding is.
The funding is
more,
better.
it's regular. We end up doing a lot more senior stuff, which is great, but we do need to start getting more, youth programs in there. That's what it was meant to do. So I'm glad to see that. Okay, staff development courses and training, so Brianna took, Doris University of Waterloo's year 1 economic development, so that's great. And all the council directed implementations, which is great. All right, so we have a resolution here to receive Brianna's report. Who would like to move? Councilor Hart, seconded by Councilor Westhaver. Resolution 2026-160, moved by Councilor Hart, seconded by Councilor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council receives economic development and tourism quarterly report number 2026-07-1407 for information. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, recreation committee minutes. Who's in here? Since mini golf's on us again.
Mhm.
We have like scorecards and stuff. or-
Yeah, we have the whole kit, yeah.
I don't know why that came into my mind, but we gotta keep score.
Little pencils.
Little pencils. All right, so this is brief minutes here. Most of the items are covered in a report. Who would like to,
I have a comment on,
Go
this
ahead.
member's comments here,
Yes.
the Lake at Thunder Wolves turning, we're not sure if that's happening, I guess.
Probably not, there hasn't been any word from him, so.
Cause, I requested last time to see what the electric bill was for September, cause I think we put the ice in a couple weeks early.
2 weeks early.
So just to know what that amount is worth.
Yeah.
September, I did note that was very, it was cool that week, so that probably helped our electric bill.
Yeah.
Not that I'm against it or anything, I just would like to know.
Yeah.
What it's costing us, if it costs us an extra 4,000 to put it in,
Yeah.
then we know what we're doing, and then we can vote on it or not. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, from
Anyway.
the sounds of it, I don't think
Maybe not
it
happen, well, that's unfortunate too, because I
Yeah.
think it was pretty popular.
Yeah. It's good.
Although it's still early, maybe they'll perk up in the next month or something.
Never know. That
Anyway,
being said, I think the volunteer hockey coaches
Yeah.
feel that an extra couple weeks of no ice is beneficial to them.
oh, they don't want to start that right away. Yeah, that could be,
Yeah, they wanna extend their, Counselor Westy.
I see that they have a new board member.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alicia Williams is our new member of the committee, so she's a principal at George O'Neill, and she's one of the executive members of the new baseball program.
yeah, she was involved in the new fastball.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
She'd be a good addition.
We usually hear that name get passed by council to join a committee or board.
It was
We did.
It was.
It was,
Last,
yep.
not two meetings ago. Yeah.
way ways back, but yeah.
Okay, so if there's nothing else, who would like to move the minutes for this recreation for June the second? Councilor Estaver, who would like to second? So perfect. Resolution 2026-161, moved by Councilor Estaver, second by Councilor Cartwright, be it resolved that this council receives the June 22nd, 2026 recreation committee meeting minutes for information. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Okay, so, this is the veterinary wellness, more fulsome veterinary wellness clinic, outcomes report. So, and then on the resolution here, it's to receive the report and, for information, so. Does anyone have comments about what they've seen here in this report?
I think it was fruitful.
Councilmember?
Yeah, I think it was a great thing. It worked out very well. I've heard nothing but positives on the street roads. And it's obviously, very well needed, you know.
We go people, which is a great thing.
$54.
Yeah.
$54.
That's pretty good.
I think for next year going ahead, with more advertising, there was a lot of people after the fact that said, well, if I had known about it, I would have done it. We did have a lot of openings still, we had a lot, especially on the Sunday, we had a lot of openings, so we could do better,
Yeah.
we could do better even during our.
There was a misconception among some people in the community that they didn't believe the pricing. So they purposefully wouldn't sign up because they didn't believe the pricing was real. I know a few.
Yeah.
It was real.
Oh, I know, and I tried to push that across, but it's like, well, I know if I go to Webec in Thunder Bay, it's this many hundreds of dollars more, so how can they possibly do it for this?
Yeah.
Because it's an SPCA and it's not profit,
Yeah,
it's not a private clinic.
exactly.
And it's mass, a mass.
Oh, I know, I pushed these across, but there was that uncertainty.
Yeah. I think
Councilor
Al
Weston.
Crespo, yeah, I think Al Crespo, he would jump on this because it would help his area. And raise rates back in Ifigin, and a lot of people listen to it.
I was on the radio talking about
Yeah.
it.
But more often.
Yep.
Or later in the day, bring it up in the afternoon, not everybody's early bird.
For me, yeah, I mean, it was wonderful, I'm glad that we didn't, there was a small shortfall of $54, which is great.
Yes.
It was exhausting, but it felt really good at the end.
It was a busy couple of days.
Yeah.
I think, definitely would be great to continue it on an annual basis and at the same kind of time of season where people are just getting their puppies in the springtime and they're kind of due for their first shots and everything. Spay neuter clinic would be great if
That would be a big
possible.
thing. I've heard lots that.
Yeah.
They
People
don't
were
really
asking.
want that, yes.
That's what they want.
If it's possible, people.
Well, it used to be us, but we had a doctor come to the Fish and Game Club in Red Rock. And we got the pup in and come back 2 hours later, they're still groggy and all that. Like, there was, the vet said it takes 20 minutes.
Right.
Any surgery, female or male.
Yeah, so a couple of good things too, the $7,878 that the township retained went into our businesses.
Mhm.
Some of them not nipping in businesses or just a couple, but, our hotel, the hotels.
Yeah, that's like
$1,000.
benefited there.
It was pretty clear that Brianna tried to use different businesses throughout.
Yeah, it was spread around for
Like that.
lunches and stuff.
Which is really
Yeah.
important. So even though we did, like our staff, we used a lot of our resources and our, you know, our space and everything like that, to do it. We did have that almost $8,000 economic injection into our community, which is great. That being said, I think if we do it again and we do see, any kind of revenue, I think if we're doing a partnership with another community, which I think we should, which I think is wonderful. I think there should be some kind of agreement or MOU or something that the township, our township retains anything over and above. In revenue, like if there, let's say there's $1,000 in revenue, I think that our township.
The host
should retain
community.
it, the host community, just because of. The incredible amount of resources, like human resources that went into
Yeah,
something
we
like
had a
that
whole bunch of kind stuff.
on top of our utilizing our community center for the whole weekend, which is great. I think it's wonderful, but if there is a situation where we do get revenue. I think it should.
Right.
I think it should come to us to help, you know.
Cover the cost of
Cover the
being-
cost of using our resources, our employees,
Yeah.
things like that. And I think this is also good because the more we do this, the more we can make a case for someone, a doctor, to eventually come here and set up a whole investment.
Yeah.
Because if we're doing this every year and showing them like this data and how much.
My daughter's coming from BCN.
Oh. Good night. Yeah, I think it's all around a really great, and it's a good investment for us to make. And congratulations to Brianna and for putting all the work in to do this and to the volunteers and the people, the doctors that came, they apparently, from their report, they loved it again, and they loved all the people that came from all over,
I
so.
think Brandon did a good job of
Yes.
organizing.
Oh, yeah.
Tying
Yeah.
people together and everything.
And a lot of evening hours extra.
I don't think she could have done a better job, so.
No, it's.
It was smooth
Same,
and
nothing.
still,
Yeah.
Found it was, yeah.
and not only did she.
That was the first one too.
Yes,
Yeah.
and which is can be worrisome, right? So the good, and the good thing is that now that she's done it, we've done it. And hopefully, it's a little easier the next time
Yeah.
around. Because she'll know what to expect, right?
Yeah, and one of those vets might decide I can set up a spay neuter.
Or any of the new veterinarians that are graduating can see they can set up a practice here.
Yeah, a lot of them were students, a lot of the volunteers were students.
So we put our best foot forward and maybe the students will graduate and come back here because they really like it. Any other?
We've been working hands-on, what even besides organizing the whole thing, doing all the administrative stuff and everything. I saw her straddling a giant.
Trying to get it on the weight scale?
Trying to get it, the shots with the shots.
Oh, the shots,
Just
yeah.
riding the.
Yeah, they're all
Hands
hands.
on, yeah, yeah.
Hold a 100-pound dog or
So I think it's 100 pounds, yeah.
All right, so we have a resolution here to accept Brandon's report. Who would like to move? Councilor Harper, seconded by Councilor Cartwright. Resolution 2026-162, moved by Councilor Harper, seconded by Councilor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council receives economic development report for 2026-07-14-08 respecting the veterinary wellness clinic outcomes together with the Humane Society of Thunder Bay Veterinary Outreach Clinic report and final financial report for information. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. All right. And then there's the HBSCPCA. You know what? This said Thunder Bay, but I think it's the Hamilton Burlington break. You may cite Thunder Bay Veterinary Clinic report.
Yeah, sorry.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
I will just make that.
Yeah.
Change on there. As I was reading it, I was thinking.
Yeah,
So I'll just change it to HB.
that's, yeah, my apologies.
We don't want to give them credit that they
Oh.
did it in our forever records. Okay.
Get more next year.
Okay, library board meetings are next. Any questions, concerns, first we have the resignation of one board member. I had to zoom in on it, but I like Sumi's statistics on circulation. It's good to see the library gets a lot of use still. Broadband uses, Wi-Fi uses 532. It's impressive. The reporter. Okay, if there are no questions or comments, who would like to move the resolution to receive public libraries report? Councilor Westhaver, second. Councilor Harper. So this is resolution 2026-163 moved by Councilor Westhaver, second by Councilor Harper. Be it resolved that this council receives the May 27th, 2026 Nipissing Public Library Board meeting minutes for information. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Oh, wow. 8:37. That was long.
Yeah, and it's dark out.
It's
Yeah.
dark.
It's dark at 6.
Oh, my God.
All right, before we go into, we do have to go into close tonight, but before we do, does anyone have any other business that they would like to bring up? Councilor Hart?
No, I'm good.
Councilor Westhaver? No. Tim, do you have anything?
I do not.
I just have something to bring up, but as of yesterday, we started getting this smoke and nearby wildfires. So I think it might be a good idea, Tim, if you and I can have a chat in the next couple of days about being ready in case winds change and something happens in here. I would also just like to recommend that people sign up for the Voyant Alert, because that is the fastest way for things to get out. And also it is a good opportunity for people to be prepared for an emergency. I'm not saying that we're in a state where we're going to be, having to evacuate
Either
tomorrow
strong
or
last week.
something.
No,
Exactly, so
it's prudent to look over,
It
check
is.
it out, yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
pack your bag, an emergency bag, make sure you have water, check. If you need to Google what should I pack to be ready to evacuate in case of a fire, in case of a forest fire, just look it up and make sure that you're prepared, because I always say everything's okay until it's not, and we get lulled into the sense of security, and we.
There was one time when I was,
or by trees.
leave, I guess, at that time, if the wind hadn't changed, maybe it would have been in trouble.
Oh, for the mill, when the mill was on fire?
No, that was a totally different one. It was just a forest fire somewhere, and if it was coming our way, and I was supposed to go up in a helicopter and check it out, but I sent the fire chief instead.
Yeah.
And, but if the wind hadn't changed, so my point is that things can happen very quickly, and,
Yeah.
and we're not immune to it here, because we're right in the middle of the bush too, so.
My grandmother said there was a lady in front of where I live now, I think Lori White was down the hill, there was a farm, and the grandma had to drag her mattress up to near the, what was it, stupid highway, but she was putting out sparks that fell on her mattress. That's how close they got to Nipigon before.
Before,
And
yeah.
it was on the island where it was flying sparks across.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can jump the river, like we have a pretty wide river, like we're bisected by a highway and a river, but there's nothing to say that something can't spark, so. I was also glad to hear that, the cross is not going to be, like that generator's not gonna
Yeah.
be going
Yeah.
for throughout this time too.
Yeah, he knows that.
But I would also like to suggest maybe that we put something up on our, website and our Facebook page. To remind people to sign up for that again, for the, like, in light of this type of situation, please sign up for the alert system. And to remind people about the emergency,
Might be a very good time to
Like-
put some more promotion up for it.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good time.
yeah, people might.
And again, when Kathy, Casey and I were doing the walk there, I think we brought it up at the meeting. That, where the hill is, that we look out on the
Yeah.
highway. If you walk onto Nipigon property, which we were cleaning that trail that the kids all do.
Yeah.
That there is, like I've done a lot of fires, and like, there was deadfall there that would go up in probably 15-20 minutes. Like a blowtorch in
Yeah.
behind that street, that street.
There's a lot of dry stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's probably worse
Now
than.
we need to cut back some of the extra foliage.
Yeah.
on that.
Right,
I know it's
along the country roads.
I think there was a program for fire.
Fire
or
prevention.
something.
We have a
Yeah.
fire smart plan
Hmm.
or something like that, but that was, it was completed sort of, well, 3.5 years ago, it was like the first couple of
I
months.
just
that I
come up
was in
recently, I
office.
think, and you wanted it updated or something. right?
Yeah.
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 The fire
All it
department.
takes is
Things like, I mean, I know this fire ban, but what about things like the use of chainsaws in the bush and machines and things like that? Is that banned right now? Is there a ban?
Well,
Just open.
Is-
Just open flame.
Open fire, but I think
Yeah.
there might be some suggestions.
there is with the contractors with big machinery, cause two of my brothers working, and they usually get laid off. Because of the heat from the machine, can just start.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of contractors will do it because they don't want the liability.
yeah.
So it's a volunteer thing.
But the concern on that hill is, all it takes is one cigarette out the window, and it's gonna climb the hill and go all right into town.
Yeah, we have to be very careful. Okay, so we
Okay.
can post something. to
Yep.
Even our
that effect, but-
firefighters, could they do a training later and just go up there and clean it up?
You know, prescribed burn?
You know, like clean up the dead.
The deadfall.
We can look at our fire smart plan and see what
You
recommendations.
should maybe
are-
put that on the agenda somewhere, because there was some program where you could go around your town and
Yeah.
read about that.
Well, that's where earlier in the year, we were talking about training, public works and stuff, and that's brought up the chainsaw training.
Yeah.
They have chainsaw training to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then our public works could technically do it. Maybe in September, when it's a little cooler,
Yeah.
but
And when they have time. some-
And when they have time.
Yeah.
But maybe there's some grant money available for that, because I think the fire department was suggesting that, or John Riddell was talking about that. I have to confirm that with him again. But it might be something, because that come up years ago too, where just we're surrounded by dead stuff. So,
Yeah.
And if there's no funding after the summer, there might be some funding at least.
Yeah. Anyways, you could put that on the
that's
list.
kind of shocked that we didn't have a lot of that chainsaw training, even where we are.
I did infrared scanning with MR when I pulled out of my job, and we had to climb out of a helicopter for 8 hours. And I saw jumps from the front of the fire, 1.5 to 2 miles away. It's just, really, that's what I was scanning, so then the crews will go there, so that is the ones that were working the bank and, right, they were doing one job, but then they had a separate crew that went out and did all the sparks and the restart. I even had one go through a woodpecker hole in the tree and it was up on.
Jeez. Okay, so fire, a big concern. So anyways, we'll move on now. We'll go to, closed session. So who would like to move to go into closed session? Councilor Harper, and who would like to second? Councilor Hart. Resolution 2026-164, moved by Councilor Harper, second by Councilor Hart, be it resolved of this council now resolves into closed session at 8:44 p.m. Pursuant to section 2392B of Municipal Act 2001 to discuss personal matters of an unidentifiable individual being a community stage rental request. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. And we'll just wait until our reporter stops and then we can. Okay, so we have resolution to come out of to come into open session. Who would like to move this? Counselor Hart, who would like to second? Counselor Rostaver? Resolution 2026-165, moved by Counselor Hart, seconded by Counselor Westaver. Be it resolved that this council returns to open session at 8:55 PM. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. All right, and so we now have a resolution, coming out of closed, for the direction of our CAO. The issue discussed, who would like to move? Counselor Harper, who would like to second? Counselor Hart. Resolution 2026-166, moved by Counselor Harper, seconded by Counselor Hart. Be it resolved that this council approves a partial waiver of the community stage rental fee in accordance with bylaw number 1988 as amended in direct staff to proceed accordingly. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. This one is to approve the bylaw and proceedings of our council being held tonight. Who would like to move this one? Councilor Cartwright, seconded by Counselor Hart. Well, move it on. Resolution 2026-167, moved by Counselor Cartwright, seconded by Counselor Hart. Be resolved that this council gives 2 readings and approve bylaw number 2039, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the regular meeting of council held on July 14th, 2026. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. And this is to adjourn tonight's meeting to have our next meeting on August the 11th. Who would like to move? Counselor Westaver, second. Counselor Cartwright. Resolution 2026-168, moved by Counselor Westaver, second by Counselor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council meeting adjourns at 8:58 PM. To meet on August 11th, 2026 for the next regular meeting or at the call of the mayor. All in favor? Opposed?
I think I'm healthy then.
I did try them. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, if any of you are able to, we'll have quorum. The 3 of us are still there, but if any
I
of you
should be around.
Okay.
want to.
I can attend by Zoom if I think on my.
Okay.
And thank you, everybody, for coming to our meeting this evening.